As someone who struggled with impulsive buying for years, now with over 500K savings, I look back at my financial journey, and here are the 5 things that I would do all over again if I were to build my savings again from scratch. What's up, guys? It's Nick. As you know, I'm a recovered shopaholic, now a money mindset coach, empowering working professionals to fund their dreams into reality. First off, I am so glad to be back because I did take a quick holiday break, and I feel like it's a great way to start the new year with building your savings fund. Based on my experience in coaching my clients, mastering the right spending and saving habits is the #1 money habit that you want to ensure that becomes natural to you if you want to achieve financial freedom. If you're all about that, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel because you don't want to miss out on the amazing videos coming up on my channel this new year every single week. Now let's get into those 5 things I would do all over again if I were to build my savings from scratch. The first and most important step that you need to do is have crystal clear goals aligned with your dream life. So if you do not get clear on this, everything else will fall apart. Because if you are saving with no direction, if you are just saving blindly and spending blindly, then you won't be able to focus on a clear goal that's aligned to where you want to be. We all know that it's important to save, but not everyone gets to save consistently, or else I wouldn't be here sharing my story who struggled with it as well. The mistake is thinking like, oh, I need to save for my future. I need to save because that's what you should do. But the problem is your brain is not going to register that because it's so vague. In order to build the right saving habit, you need to have clear instructions to tell your brain. So if you just keep saying, I need to save for my future, I need to save because I have to do it, you don't have a clear-cut reason that is motivating enough, that is empowering enough for you to push through with that habit to do it consistently. So that's why when I coach my clients, this is the #1 thing that we hone in on, because after we get clear on what they truly want based on their own intuition, not based on what their family told them to do, what their peers are doing, what other people are doing based on what looks successful, we take all of that clutter out, we take all of the distractions, we take all of the unnecessary pressure that we put on ourselves so that we create our own path to the freedom that we want, to the life that we actually enjoy. So what I love guiding my clients with is creating achievable and specific goals that are uncomfortably specific, wherein it really embodies the kind of life that they want to have in a few years' time. Because sometimes, inuunahan na natin yung sarili natin na, oh, hindi pwede yan, hindi ko magagawa yan, kasi hindi ko pa nagagawa. Obviously, hindi mo siya magagawa if you haven't considered like what is that goal that will actually motivate you to get to that dream that you want. And what I noticed with coaching my clients is sometimes they have this goal that were imposed on them, but when we get into the actual coaching call, they realize that they want something completely different. Because if we actually take the time to tune in and self-reflect on what we actually want, that's where the clear goals really come in. Otherwise, we just create goals based on pressure, based on to look impressive to people. That's why I love creating that safe space for my clients where there is no judgment, there is no pressure, there is no criticism whatsoever on what you truly want. Especially for the new year, that sometimes we feel pressured to achieve a certain goal, to achieve a certain number, to invest on a certain thing, but we don't really take the time to pause and understand like, what is it all for? What is the concrete reason, vision, mission that this specific goal matters to us? The reason why I get so passionate about this is because if you are not crystal clear in your own brain about what you want, you get easily tempted. You get easily distracted by everything else that is not aligned to what you want. What I realize is that if you are not firm about your goals, if you're not firm about your own vision for your life, then you are gonna listen to everyone else. You're gonna listen to what your parents impose on you. You're gonna listen to what your peers are doing. So that's why right here, right now, might as well already be clear what is worth saving up for. What is that life goal? What is that dream life that you picture yourself in? Because this goal will serve as your anchor when distractions do come in. If we don't have a clear end goal in mind on why we are doing certain things, we will easily give up. Trust me, I've been there. Like, okay, like I know I should save, I know I should be disciplined, but the problem is we are focusing on the action that we should do rather than the goal. Because if you don't take the time to pause and reflect on these things, then you are going to follow everyone else's rules and you're going to follow everyone else's terms but yourself. I actually wanted to give a shout out to one of my clients who graduated from an 8-week coaching program, Gab. I'm just so proud of her because there is this one thing that came out from one of our coaching calls that was one of her biggest realizations that I wanted to share in this video. If we don't know what we truly want, we give into the wrong things. And this is really the premise of the importance of having crystal clear goals. And because she got clear on the identity that she wanted to step in, she got clear on the direction that she wanted to go, she has more purpose in her goals, she is more excited in hitting her goals, then she was able to figure out how to actually fund those desires. She realized that she will no longer be a slave of impulsive buying. So together we mapped out those crystal clear goals in alignment to having a life vision and mission for her life, because her goal, that's what will bring you true joy. That's what will bring you true fulfillment. Like for me, nothing compares to the fulfillment that I have in being a coach for my clients. And so that's why when I was in the process of building my coaching business, it was easy to push aside all the temptations of boodle shopping, of retail therapy, because I know that the end goal that I want is to help people through my stories, through mindful living, through leading by example. Sometimes we forget the bigger dreams that take time because the short-term rewards are easier to get. And so if you were inspired by my client story and my story as well, then I would love to welcome you inside my one-on-one coaching program. My January slots are fully booked, but I do have slots for February that are open for you. And this is where I guide you to master mindful spending and saving habits to fund your dream life, as we should. In this program, my clients were able to live independently, pay off their debts, make better financial decisions for their business, be able to provide a down payment for the dream property and all of that. And I realized that it just becomes so life-changing when you decide to invest in yourself, to prioritize your dreams once and for all. So this is where I condensed 6 years of trial and error into a 60-day roadmap for my clients, where I get to guide you in creating your personalized roadmap with clarity on what you truly want, so that you have the trust and confidence in yourself to spend on what truly matters, for you to save up for your dreams that do matter in the long run. So if you want to learn more about my program, or if you want to reserve your slot already for February, then check the link in my bio on what to expect inside my program, and also the amazing transformations that my clients have gone through in just under 8 weeks, so that you get to feel more confident in making the right financial decisions for your life. Number 2 is identify your money mindset blocks and create a new belief system. So money mindset blocks are those toxic thought patterns and limiting beliefs that we grew up with about money. We unconsciously create a money story that is not aligned to our dream life. Then we are constantly going to create the same kind of results in our reality. So for instance, if you keep believing that you need to work your way to exhaustion to feel deserving of money, then you will constantly feel burnt out. You will constantly feel stressed in every single thing that you do, rather than enjoying it, being fulfilled, feeling worthy of the money that you have. If you grew up with being so scared of having debt, even if you haven't even encountered debt, then you will always operate in scarcity and fear of having money, of receiving money. The thing is, those toxic thought patterns prevent us from allowing us to save consistently. For instance, if you constantly believe that you need to give more to everyone else, tapos tira na lang yung matitira sa'yo, then you will constantly feel like there's never enough. If you're constantly thinking of prioritizing everyone else but yourself, then you will always feel like kulang pa rin yung nare-resibong pera, kulang pa rin for you to save, there's not enough money left to save. And these are the unconscious thoughts that we don't realize. The unconscious thoughts that we have, those are 95% of our brain. Okay, 5% are conscious. So that means 5% of you trying to tell yourself to save, to have discipline, to stop impulsive buying, to save consistently, those are overpowered by 95% of your unconscious thoughts. Meaning, if your unconscious thoughts do not align with your dreams, do not align with saving consistently, like, oh, I need to reward myself with these impulsive purchases, with retail therapy, if you still have thoughts about feeling guilty when it comes to prioritizing yourself, and this is what I realized for myself, is that I had this unconscious money story that I needed to really identify, because I realized that it was really blocking me, it was really preventing me from stepping into the best version of myself, who can save consistently, who can fund her dreams into reality, who can take the right action towards the reality that she wants. That's why I coach my clients on being aware of the limiting beliefs that have been stopping them for years, and we don't even realize it because we don't acknowledge it, or we just keep ignoring our feelings. We don't validate the emotions that we have. And that's the problem if we're just constantly like trying to take action, but then it's directionless. Like when we save blindly, when we spend blindly, we're constantly running blindly with our money, and as a result, we're also running blindly in our life. There's no direction whatsoever. And that's how I felt also when it came to my life crisis, when I had no direction in my life. It also translated with where my money was going. So I actually dive into this more in my free 60-minute training on how to master your money mindset. And specifically, I dive into how the brain works, on how you unconsciously create the wrong kinds of beliefs and thoughts. And as a result, it affects, it overpowers your daily actions and decisions, which then create your reality that you do not like. And I also share my signature framework there, where I dive into the 3 steps on how you can have a debt-proof freedom. All you have to do is sign up through the link below, and then I will email you the link to the video training. Third thing is audit your monthly expenses, because sometimes we are so focused on making more money, receiving more money, wanting to earn more and all of that, but we don't get to really analyze what's been going wrong on how we've been spending, so that we can then prioritize saving properly and consistently. To get you started, I do have a free monthly expense tracker below that you can download, and for you to really understand, what have I been avoiding? What have I been trying to put aside? What have I been spending my money on that do not align with my goals? And this is really what I love coaching my clients with, is to really get clear on the numbers, to get clear on their current reality, because I realize is we cannot get to the next level if we don't understand the current level that we are in. And that is the importance of auditing your expenses. Look at where you shouldn't have spent maybe your money. I think especially, December, that is usually the heavy spending season. I totally get it. I remember my last shopaholic purchase na malaki talaga was December 2020. And so I'm sure your December may be worth looking at. Because the reality that I often notice with coaching clients is that we're in denial. We're in denial that, oh, it's okay to be spending this way. We just reward ourselves with our hard-earned money. But then I've seen many instances where my clients realize that they're a shopaholic pala. They didn't know. Or their money is constantly spent on pleasing others, on getting validation from their family or their friends, or, things that do not really align to their goal. And this part is really meant to hurt. This part is really meant to make you uncomfortable. And the thing is, if you are not uncomfortable, then you are not really growing. If you don't like where you are right now with your savings, with how you're handling money, then you need to be uncomfortable and really face the reality of how you're spending, where you're spending your money, and where you need to reduce, and also how you can really prioritize saving more so that it can really help you towards your goals. 4 is commit to concrete timelines for hitting your savings targets. So when we talk about savings, there could be different kinds of savings depending on your goal. That's why we always go back to like, what is your ultimate life goal that is aligned to your dream? Because you can have an emergency fund when you live on your own. You could have a travel fund when you plan to like have a solo trip somewhere, or if you want to be like a digital nomad. You can have like a renovation fund if you plan to like fix up your house, fix up your place. You could have a wedding fund, a honeymoon fund, if that is more aligned to the goals that you want to prioritize. Ultimately, you have a choice here. Do you want to delay your goals? Do you want to delay hitting your goals, or do you want to fast track your goals? Because that's how I look at saving, is that if I get to save more consistently, then I get to my goal even faster. And that's what really allowed me to start my business as soon as I can, to run it with ease, to run it with excitement, because that's how I looked at saving, because I was so crystal clear and focused on where I want to go. That's why I love coaching my clients on creating realistic yet achievable timelines in alignment to their goals as they keep saving up consistently month on month. This way, you have a clear picture. You feel more in control with where your money is going, in alignment to where you actually want to be, rather than you're just like, oh, I need to save because I should. Yep, I need to save enough for my future. But what is enough? What is in your future that you're looking forward to? Those are the questions that we forget to ask because there are just rules placed upon us and we don't get to ask why there are these certain rules. Fifth thing is take the logical leap for your dreams. This may be an unpopular opinion, but what's the point of stashing money, of putting aside money, if you don't get to be empowered in pursuing your dreams? Have also a timeline that will allow you to take that logical leap of faith. Is it quitting your job? Is it to start a business? Is it to work on that passion project? Is it to have a down payment on that property? Is it moving out on your own? That is sometimes the leap that we need that will empower us to save consistently. Because as I've mentioned, if you don't have a clear target, if it's super vague, then you're gonna forget about saving consistently. Because like, para saan nga ba to? Ano to? Ba't ko nga ba kailangan gawin to? And your brain is going to register that it's not that important to you because it's not so clear to you in the first place. Because what I realize is sometimes we're just strolling along life in the escalator of life, leading us somewhere that we don't know where it's gonna be led. We're just letting life control us. We're just letting life control how we spend our money. But what if it could be the other way around? What if you have control over your money so that you know that you're going to get to the right direction, that you're creating your own path to your dream life? That's really my mindset about building the right spending and saving habits that allowed me to save over $500,000 is that that's how I looked at it. I looked at it as if I get to have the freedom of choice to do what I actually want, to do what I truly want, not to be dictated by anyone else, not to follow the rules that were set upon by society. That's why I specifically create a module, a session about taking the logical leap with my clients inside my program. This is where we specifically go into my logical leap of freedom system, that you get to have a holistic view of, okay, I need to make sure I have this, so that I have the confidence that I am financially and mentally prepared to pursue my dreams. Because sometimes we see it all in the movies and we see it all on social media that people just take the leap of faith. But in reality, there also has to be logic and practicality when we pursue our passions, or else we're just gonna end up resenting ourselves pursuing what we love, and we don't want that. We want to make sure that we are constantly operating in excitement, in purpose, in meaning when we do pursue that leap. And that's really the premise of how I'm able to do what I'm doing now. I'm a full-time money mindset coach. I'm a full-time content creator. I'm living on my own. And I really have that joy and fulfillment in coaching my clients is because I needed to go through the money mindset blocks that I needed to face in the mirror that I kept denying myself of. I needed to map out my plan to make sure that I'm financially and mentally prepared to do it. And because of that, I also end up making the right decisions for my business, for my career, for my life in general. It's because I have the clear mental space to focus on doing what I love and pursuing my dreams rather than I am burdened by expenses, burdened by debt, burdened by the obligations, financial obligations, and all of that. There is a balance. There is a possibility for you to do both, to be financially free, to be financially prepared while you actually get to pursue the dreams, the bigger dreams that take time but are worth the wait. So I actually love talking about this more and sharing my insights on Instagram. So if you haven't followed me there, I have a lot of infographics and also I post daily on my IG stories. So I would love to connect with you there if you have like mind-blowing lessons and takeaways that you have taken from this video. And if you want to make sure that you have clarity on creating those money goals for 2022, then make sure you check out this video on the biggest mistakes when setting money goals, because I definitely spill all of the misconceptions and myths when it comes to creating money targets that really applied in my life and also how I coach my clients as well. So check that out and I will see you there.